But it was about the girl, I guess she was like 10th grade, 11th grade, and she started doing this. She had a customization piece for MySpace. I can't remember what it was, but she created some cute things so that when they went into MySpace, they could have this little piece. And so she started doing it, and then everybody was wanting it. It was like $5 or $10. And then she had to get all her friends to help her over the summer because so many people were wanting it. It was where you could make it like all pink and girly, you know, skin that you had when you or something like that. Well, now it's a multi-million-dollar business. It's Fortune 500. She quit school to run the business. She's got people that are pouring into her. You know, and so that's what's going to happen, is that school is going to become such an irrelevant place, such a disconnect, that we're going to lose students if we don't follow the trends of society and change. It's not a choice anymore. We really have to stick with it. It's interesting. We haven't really seen anything yet. A lot of us, when we think about Web 1.0, you know, this is just a concept. This is just a concept. It's not a real version. But the web as it used to be, I can remember when it first came out. I can remember back when you had to get on the computer before, it was just a green screen and you typed in commands. How many of you remember that? Okay, remember, it's kind of boring, right? You know, we do lists, we do run. We were cool, weren't we? Nobody else knew how to do that, and we were cool. All right, so there weren't enough people that could play, so what they did is they came up with a GUI environment, graphical user interface. And I remember how excited I got. Mosaic, remember, that was like one of the first browsers. And I remember we could click on Beethoven and you could hear the symphony. And I remember I just got so stoked. I was like, man, this is going to be cool. Instead of just looking it up and reading about it, my kids are going to get to hear it. It's going to enrich their lives, and how exciting. But it wasn't very disruptive. It didn't really change anything. Sure, I had a cool electronic resource that I could take students to, but I could also still get my notes, tell them to take out their chapter, read it, to answer the question, and everything continued on the way it was. So then Web 2.0 came along, and Web 2.0, I don't know if you've seen all those little Web 2.0 sites, we get a couple every week that come up. Web 2.0 basically was, now we're not going to be so non-disruptive, now we're really going to be disruptive. For you to be able to utilize these tools, blogs, wikis, you know, podcasts, being able to use RSS, VoIP, you know, different kinds of tools that allow you to socially network, be able to collaborate, and be able to work together in a way that's transparent and connects you with everyone. That was totally different. Because schools are about kind of locking it down and controlling and making sure that we manage the steps and kind of watch where things go. Well, just about the time when you guys were getting comfortable, you've heard Web 2.0 enough now, that even if you're not real sure what it means, you're okay with it. You figure you've heard it enough times in the school that it must not be kids getting kidnapped and going to Siberia, it's going to be all right. But now, guess what? We've already left, you know, just about the time you really start to think about it, we're in Web 3.0. Web 3.0 has to do with the semantic. It has to do with creating digital agents, avatars, that can do your bidding for you. So you don't want to go teach? So your avatar. So what your avatar will do is you will log on to a place like Second Life or another virtual world. Your teaching avatar will come in. The students will log in as avatars. Everybody will sit down. There's lots of colleges that are teaching courses in Second Life. The teacher avatar will teach, the student avatars will take. You know, a lot of people talk about Second Life. Any of you in Second Life? You are? Okay, cool. Second, people say, Second Life. My God, I can't get a handle on my first life. You know, now you want me to go into Second Life. They go, you know, why? Well, here's an example. I'm in the States. I have lots of friends in New Zealand. They have a chance to go over there and do some things, make some real good friendships. So let's say we want to watch the Super Bowl. Well, they can't come over to my house. Taste all these and do things with them. So what we do is we decide that we're all going to come into Second Life. I'm going to stream the game in through Second Life and create a learning object television where we can all sit on the virtual couches. But there's a problem. I don't have enough couches because I invite enough people. So I can either work on the code, or I can go to the store in Second Life, or I have a friend and I've been to their apartment in Second Life and they've got great couches. So I go, hey, I'll buy that code from you. I'll give you X amount of dollars if you'll, let me have the code so I can put some couches together, pink and green and different. Okay, cool. So I'll make the code for you so we can bring the couches in. Well, a lot of people start asking her for couches. So what she does in Second Life is she sets up a business where you can use Linden bucks, which can be translated to any currency in the world, and you can buy couches from this person in Second Life, and there are millions of dollars being made. In fact, some of the first multimillionaires from Second Life that were here in China that were able to turn that into real money. So we're going to see more and more where your avatar is going to be able to do your bidding. Those avatars, those digital agents, you are going to need to become multi-literate teachers. Now, right now, our literacies really revolve around text-based literacies. But there's going to be visual literacies, there's going to be digital literacies that you're going to need to be able to master to truly be able to communicate and collaborate. So there's new literacies in the 21st century. Are you afraid, Jeff? I know it's a little bit overwhelming, but I want you to kind of see where we're going here. It is a changing world. Statistically, it's very different. There's over 1 billion people connected to the web. They say that's going to double in a decade. The internet contains 1 trillion links on 100 billion web pages, with 7 million being created daily. There was only a handful of us blogging in 1999. In fact, I was quoted in a magazine with some statistics on how many, and that's how I met Will, because Will quickly corrected my number right in the magazine that was quoted. So that's, we met each other right doing like this. For educators, basically what that means is that we need to get our students on board with digital type literacies, or they're going to be left behind with the economy. Something we need to expose today to more information in 1 year than their grandparents were in their whole lifetime. And that's very interesting. It's also kind of complex if you have different generations alive at the same time. One of my students was getting married, and so she, you do the save the date card. She did the save the date card, and she used Photoshop, and she had a Burger King party, and so at the Burger, and then the guy she was marrying, when he was 4, he had the Burger King party, and so he's sitting in his Burger King picture going like this, a little crown on. So what she did is she cut and pasted and put a thumb on hers, so she's also sitting like this. So she prints out the card to send out, real cute, that they're both in there, they're going to get married, and Grandma looks at it and goes, "He wasn't at your party." So sometimes when you have different generations there, it can be very confusing when knowledge is being transferred.